Hello, and welcome back. Thank you, as always, for tuning in here. What I want to do today is have a conversation that is in answer to a question. It's an answer to a very good question asked by one of you. And for the record, I always invite these questions. If there is a particular topic that you're interested in or that seems to be, well, bothering you, or something that you'd just like to have us cover here on this series of videos, please feel welcome to ask that. So today's conversation will be in direct response to a question of yours. So thank you for asking that. The question's a great one that deserves a video unto itself. In fact, it deserves quite a few. And it's a subject that's worth returning to again and again. And the question is, do we choose our own experiences or is it fate? Oh, great question. Do we choose our own experiences or is everything fated, scripted, predestined, everything? So, what actually is our power of choice in the present moment? This power of decision that I talk about all the time. And of course, stress the importance of all the time. It's a great question. All right. Well, the answer to that, is it fated or scripted, or do we choose our own experiences? Well, yes, to both. So let's explain what this actually looks like. Now, it's very important to back up when we think about this because we're conditioned here in the world when we identify as an ego to be in control of everything. And what this looks like is a giant exercise in frustration, pain, and suffering because we can't control all phenomena here in the world. We can't control what other people say and do. Despite our best intentions, we can't control how somebody's going to react to us. We can't control someone's remarks or gestures or actions, much less their thoughts, when we respond lovingly to them. We could say good morning to someone and receive the middle finger in response. And we'd pretend that we're shocked by that. Let's back all the way up and stress something that's very important to recognize here when we're talking about the power of decision and what do we actually have control over in this lifetime. We're reviewing something that's already gone by. You may have heard this, and perhaps you have not. We're reviewing something that has already gone by and, in fact, never happened at all. The separation, the apparent separation from God, never took place. This is something that A Course in Miracles stresses and repeatedly. Clearly, we're not taught that in the world. We're reviewing right now, we're reviewing a lifetime. Everything that, especially the major events, everything that happens in this lifetime has been, in a sense, scripted or predetermined. And I'm talking the major events here, such as where you're going to be born, what gender you're going to appear to be, what part of the world you're going to appear in, right? What country? For me, it was the United States. For you, it could be someplace else in the world. Yeah. And whether you're going to get married, get divorced, have children, big things like that are planned out, including the end of this dream lifetime, also scripted. Here is what we have a choice in and control over. The present moment while we appear to be here. This is happening so that we may learn our forgiveness lessons and go home, in a manner of speaking, awaken. We can significantly shorten the amount of time our awakening appears to take. Now, you'll notice the language, the choice of language is deliberate, appears to take. Remember, the separation never occurred. This is the essence of accepting what the Course refers to as atonement for ourselves. The separation never occurred, never occurred. You actually cannot be separate from God. I cannot be separate from God. There's no separation of any kind. That we're reviewing a dream of separation. Here in the dream, we can shorten the dream significantly by taking advantage of, if you prefer that language, our forgiveness opportunities, which come to us all of the time. Ours is simply to recognize them and to do the forgiveness work, to be aware of them. Because if we're not aware of opportunities to forgive, to extend the miracle of true forgiveness to the Son of God, then we can't possibly expect ourselves to do the work. We have the choice, the power of decision here in this dream where we appear to be a prisoner of the dream. I mean, we do. We appear to be a prisoner of this world, which is a world of conflict and warfare that appears to be coming at us. It is not coming at us, it's coming from us. We're dreaming this. Forgive the dream. That's powerful. When you truly begin to get this, when this really hits home that this is coming from you, it's very powerful. This power of decision that we're talking about is the power of decision to side with the Holy Spirit, to choose the thought system that we're being taught here with A Course in Miracles, to choose love, to choose truth instead of illusion. Recognize that we're choosing with the ego. And it's very easy to tell that because if we're anything but wholly joyous, if stuff is happening to us that annoys us or frustrates us or scares the hell out of us, that's a sure sign that we're seeing ourselves as individuals. So we recognize this, and then we consciously, right, deliberately choose the thought system of the Holy Spirit and replace our ego thoughts with the thoughts of the Holy Spirit. We learn to think with the Holy Spirit. How do we do this? We forgive. When you notice that you are upset for any reason, it is a forgiveness opportunity. If you're scared, that's a forgiveness opportunity. If you are fearful or annoyed, those are all forgiveness opportunities. Anything that comes across in your experience as ugly or disgusting, sad, rude, and terrible is a forgiveness opportunity. We have a choice in the present moment to forgive. This is what we're invited to do. Learning a forgiveness lesson shortens time. It's not under our control. It's under the Holy Spirit's control. This is part of our invitation. You can call it dictate or mandate if you want to, but it's part of our invitation to learn, to relax and trust. We do our very small part. Our inner teacher does the rest. This means that we can learn a forgiveness lesson and not have to repeat it. That chunk of time is cut out of the script, like the editing of a film. If you learn a lesson in school, you don't have to repeat that lesson. When you learn something in the world, you learn it. When you forgive truly, that particular forgiveness lesson will not come up again in this lifetime or in any other apparent lifetime. So the fact that the major events in our lives, including the eventual demise of this thingy, this fact that that is all scripted should not be seen as something that's depressing, sad, or wrong, because here in the dream, we have the ability to awaken from the dream. It is given to us at all times. These forgiveness opportunities are numerous. They are. They're numerous. And they come at us, apparently. They're actually coming from us. They're coming from our mind. And we forgive what appears to be outside of us, recognizing that it never took place. The separation never occurred. What we're doing is waking up from the dream. And this is most definitely a dream. Now, if you're new to A Course in Miracles, welcome. This may seem very strange. I mean, and it frequently does. So if you're thinking, what the, no, yeah, join the club. This is not what we were all raised to believe. We were raised to believe that this is us. The physical body is us, and its needs dictate everything. Everything appears to be outside us. The world appears to be outside us, and we have to struggle and strive, navigate it as best we can before we die. We don't die. This doesn't last forever. It's not you. The Son of God does not die. There's never been any separation of any kind, and like extends like. Love extends itself. In other words, God extends himself. This is how we were created. And here's something that I hope you take with you. If you take nothing else out of this, especially if you're new to this material, which is very different than the way we were raised, it's very different from other spiritual traditions. God is the only reality. God is. And nothing else is real. I don't know about you, but I did not learn that in fundamentalist Sunday school growing up. I didn't. Understand this. Ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. This appears to operate on many different levels. Here in the dream, our thoughts definitely do remain in the mind of the thinker. Our hateful thoughts remain in our mind. Our loving thoughts remain in our mind. Now, also, ideas leave not their source, capital S. Hmm. Hmm. We are known in A Course in Miracles as the extension of God, the thought of God. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. Ideas, you, me, all of us, leave not their source, capital S. We have the power of decision in the present moment to choose spirit. Mind is known in A Course in Miracles as the activating agent of spirit. We use mind, and this is most certainly a course in mind training. We use mind to choose spirit, to choose who we really are, truth instead of illusion. This is the power that's left to us here in the world where it appears that everything is chaotic. We can choose love instead of fear. We can choose God instead of the ego. This is what we're invited to do. And here in the dream, this power of choice is deeply meaningful. It is possible, it's under the Holy Spirit's guidance, of course, but it is possible to learn our forgiveness lessons right here, right now, today, in this lifetime, and not have to repeat them. What does that appear to do? Well, it shortens time in the dream, collapses it. You have the power right now to choose love. We're invited to do just that and nothing else. All right. So I hope that this conversation is helpful. And as you can see from not just this dialogue, but all of them, A Course in Miracles is deep. Well, it's very different than anything else that is out there. I mean, it really is. We don't see other traditions focusing only on the mind and mind training. All doors lead to God in the end. So if this you discover is not your path, not a problem at all. All doors lead to God in the end because there is only God. Only God is. So naturally, all doors, in other words, all spiritual traditions lead to the same place. You may follow whichever you choose. And you may choose this one. But that is a conversation that each of us should have with our inner teacher, who, by the way, is part of our mind, the part that knows who we are and will guide us, if only we allow it. All right. So, thank you for tuning in and for the question. I do hope that in some way this is helpful. These are conversations that we return to as adult learners again and again, because this course is so different than everything that we've been conditioned to believe. We need to repeat the ideas because what we're about here is completely switching our thought system from the thought system of individuality in the ego to the thought system of the Holy Spirit, to recognizing our perfect oneness. Here in the world, we appear to look out and see multiplicity. That's an illusion. There is only perfect oneness. So the more we repeat ideas like this, the better. Hence the repetition. All right. So if you have additional comments or questions, please feel welcome to leave them here. This is a great forum for that right here in the comment thread on YouTube. And if you have not yet subscribed, I'd love to have you do that. Please go ahead and subscribe. Join us. The prompt is here in the corner of your screen. That's that arrow. When you click or hover over that, you'll be invited to join us. So please do that. These videos appear several times a week, and they're pre-recorded. We record them in advance when my wife Cindy and I go on vacation. We have now returned from said vacation. So comments are more than welcome. Again, thank you as always for tuning in. And my invitation as we wrap up here is to keep going. Our job is to learn to relax and trust our inner teacher's guidance. So all we have is the present moment. Anything that is less than wholly joyous is an opportunity for forgiveness. So the more we become aware of that, the better. Thank you. I will speak to all of you very soon.